Are you a low spender in Rise of Kingdoms, or are you thinking of spending money on this game? Well, join me as I walk you through all of the different bundles that you must buy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms gameplay episode from your very own Shappy Gaming. Today, we are going to be walking through all of the different bundles that low spenders in Rise of Kingdoms should be considering buying. I, myself, am a low spender in Rise of Kingdoms, and I've been wondering, how much money do you actually need to spend in this game? And I would say in Rise of Kingdoms, you probably should be spending a little bit, and we're going to be walking through all of the different bundles that you probably should be buying, and adding up all of the potential money that you could be spending to be a low spender in Rise of Kingdoms. I will also point out that there are some bundles that are kind of optional, but depending upon how invested you want to get in the game, quite literally, you can buy them. And so today, the first two bundles that we're going to be talking about are the Vanquisher bundle and the Writer of History bundle. And I'll pull up exactly what those bundles contain in just a second, but I did want to capture exactly how you trigger them. So, the Writer of History bundle is probably the best bundle in Rise of Kingdoms today. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, but that's my take. And in order to get this bundle, what you actually have to do is really simple. You just have to summon a new legendary commander. And the first time you summon that legendary commander, you can get the Writer of History bundle. Unfortunately, if you've already summoned that commander, you cannot get the bundle again. You only get it once. However, I have heard stories of people reaching out to VIP support or just going through normal support and saying, hey, I missed the bundle, but I really want to buy it. Can you guys re-trigger it? So let me know if that works for you. But I have heard of that working before. But that is probably the best bundle in the game because it gives you 10 legendary heads for only $5, which is actually a really, really good deal. And I've bought that bundle pretty much every time it's popped up. Now, if you haven't spent in Rise of Kingdoms yet, and you still have commanders that are in the summon state, you can still get that bundle for those commanders. What this means is if you have 11 or 10 heads for that commander, and you haven't yet summoned them, you actually can, and it's totally worth it. So think about that and do it when you're ready. I would keep those commanders ready to summon for whenever you do want to spend the money. It's a nice little way to budget yourself every month if you are a low spender in Rise of Kingdoms. The other thing that I will point out here is that you can get this bundle from picking up commanders in Wheel or in Card King. And so sometimes those events will show up and there will be commanders that you don't really care about. Card King, I think, has Charlemagne even. Oh, I said it. You may not necessarily want that commander, but if you haven't summoned him before, you do get the opportunity to spend the $5 to get not only Charlemagne, who's virtually useless with the exception of Bastions, but you can get the Writer of History bundle, which will give you 10 universal heads that you can use on whoever else you want. So that's a really good option, especially if Card King does not have the commander that you're really gunning for. So just keep that in mind as you go through the process. And Wheel is the same story. Even if there's a wheel and it's a leadership wheel and you don't want any of the commanders, it may be worth at least getting to summon that commander so you can buy Writer of History. The second bundle that we're going to be talking about is the Vanquisher bundle. And this is probably the next best bundle in Rise of Kingdoms. This bundle is triggered whenever you combine a legendary blueprint. And you can do this only once for every blueprint. And the advantage of this is you, I believe, get four legendary materials for $5, which is by far the best deal that you can get for legendary materials in Rise of Kingdoms, which is huge. So definitely keep that in mind. And I will also add, in the Season of Conquest shop, you can buy multiple blueprints here that you may not have before. And so there is potential value in buying these even if you have no intent in crafting them. For example, let's say you don't have Skola's Lucky Coin. Maybe if you don't feel that you're going to go for a city skin, you should buy one of these other blueprints here for accessories, combine them, and then buy the Vanquisher bundle so you get 4 extra materials for only $5. So just a couple of tips in order to keep your spending low and make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck. The other thing I will add is Lucerne. Lucerne is one of the best bundles in Rise of Kingdoms. And the reason for that is not only do you get a bunch of gems, but you also get 6 legendary gold heads for only $5. That is, if you finish Lucerne, But not only that, but if you do finish Lucerne, then you actually get a full legendary blueprint, which you can then combine and buy the Vanquisher bundle for $5 if you don't already have this blueprint. So that's our introduction to the two biggest bundles in Rise of Kingdoms that low spenders should absolutely buy without a doubt every single time. We're now going to jump over to my spreadsheet, which I've created, which I know you guys love the spreadsheets. If you do, let me know in the comment section below. Drop a like. And we're going to walk through exactly which bundles and how much money you should be spending in Rise of Kingdoms. So here we are. We're on our lovely spreadsheet. And let's talk about the initial upfront cost for Rise of Kingdoms. So as you can see here, the first bundle that you're going to want to buy when you start spending in Rise of Kingdoms is the Growth Fund. The Growth Fund is an amazing bundle that you can buy that gives you 40,000 gems, I think a little bit more than that. And it's only like 15 bucks. And it's right at the start of the game. And as soon as you unlock City Hall 25, you can actually buy this bundle and get all of those gems. You can only buy it once. But if you are a low spender and considering spending in Rise of Kingdoms, that is the very first bundle that you should be buying. And this Growth Fund bundle is super helpful because not only does it give you a copious number of gems, but usually you can buy it when you do need to start upgrading things like your castle or watchtowers, which require books or arrows, which you can actually spend gems on to get. And so the Growth Fund is absolutely a bundle you should be buying. Even if you choose not to use it on your castle and watchtower, you can use those gems on pretty much anything else, and it's the best value for gems in Rise of Kingdoms. We did mention the Writer of History bundle, and I have the contents right over here for you, so feel free to take a look at that. And here, let me see if I can get it moved over. As you can see, you do get 10 gold heads there, and you get 10 stars, and you get a bunch of gems. You also get some VIP points, and it actually looks like you might get Minamoto if you've never made a purchase in this game, which means you can get 2 back-to-back Writer of History bundles, which is enormous, and you can actually see that Minamoto right there for you. So if you are spending, you do get rewarded pretty much instantaneously for buying the Writer of History bundle. Here's the Vanquisher bundle for you guys if you have not seen it before. It is, you get a bunch of gems, you do get those materials, and you get some food and wood. So moving back over to our bundles here, you can actually buy the Writer of History bundle as of today 55 times. And that is because we have 55 legendary commanders in Rise of Kingdoms. Obviously, some of these are MGE commanders, which you may not be able to get, but it is worth pointing out that that's an option. So what does that mean? It means you can spend quite a number of $5 increments. I will also point out here that one of these 55 is Barca. And so if you have not spent the money on the Barca bundle, then you cannot buy him and get that Writer of History bundle. Personally, I think that's okay, but if you do want to get that extra Writer of History and simply get the unlock for Barca, go ahead, buy that bundle, and you can do it. The Vanquisher bundle you can actually buy 47 times as of today. There are 47 different legendary equipments that you can combine and then buy this bundle, which is pretty awesome. And then we have the Daily Gem Supply. Now, the Daily Gem Supply is one of the other best bundles in Rise of Kingdoms. And why is that? So if we pull up our game here again, and we walk over to our store, and you go to the Supply Depot, you can buy the 30-day gem supply, and I believe it's only like $10 to do this. Now, I would be very cautious about when you buy the 30-day gem supply. You always want it active, but when you're first starting the game, you really only should need to buy it once. And the reason for that is when we have a recharge rewards, you should absolutely be topping up your 30-day gem supply. And this bundle does stack, so you can have 30-day, 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 and as you can see, I have 78 days remaining, but it's only a 30-day bundle. So keep that in mind, and whenever recharge rewards comes around, buy that bundle. And if you haven't seen my recharge rewards guide, check that out on the top right side of your screen now. I'll be sure to link it there for you. So moving back over to our bundles here, as you can see, we have the daily gem supply, but I have not really calculated that into this cost because in theory, you're going to want to be buying it during recharge. That said, when you first start the game, you may just buy it once off the bat. So I have added it in here. So in total, what you can spend between Growth Fund, Writer of History, all the Vanquishers, and your very first daily gem supply is about $535. And you may be saying, Shappy, this is a low spender spending guide. Yeah, I know, guys, but it adds up over time. And so you may not be spending $535 off the bat. In fact, I can guarantee you won't. But you may be spending $5 every month, or $5 a couple times a month, especially at the very beginning when you're unlocking all of these legendary commanders. That said, that's the total that you can spend on the Writer of History, Vanquisher, and Growth Fund today. This may change as they continue to add more legendary commanders. They're printing out more money. We're now going to move on to the air quotes optional section of what you can spend money on in Rise of Kingdoms. So the first thing we're going to be covering is recharge rewards. So recharge rewards comes just about every month these days, and it's all of the holiday events that show up. Whenever there's a holiday event, you get a 5-day recharge rewards. And as I said, I do have a recharge rewards guide here. But if you want to max out your recharge rewards, it's actually going to be about $60. And the reason for that is you can spend $12 a day on recharge rewards for 5 days in order to max it out. Some people will make the mistake of spending $15 a day. It's up to your willingness to pay. But personally, I buy the second daily as well as $10 worth of other bundles. And that brings me to $60. As I mentioned earlier, you do want to be buying your daily gem supply during recharge. And because it comes every month or so, maybe you want to buy it once, maybe you want to buy it twice. Do what makes you feel comfortable. The next bundle we're talking about is Lucerne. And I mentioned it earlier, and it usually shows out just about bi-monthly, so you'll have it every 55 days or so. And Lucerne is super valuable because not only do you get a bunch of gems, 6 legendary heads, you get gold keys, you get equipment keys, you get a legendary blueprint. It is hands down one of the best bundles in the game if you can unlock all of the items in it. So if you're a low spender, I would consider going for Lucerne. And I will point out that there's a little bit of a difference here because this is continuous spending here in the optional category, same with the KVK pop-up bundles. But the top one is kind of like it's got a cap on your investment, at least until they continue to release new commanders. The third one here is a bundle that you may or may not want to buy, and it's called New World. And the New World bundle I can pull up for you guys right here. And the New World bundle is the bundle in which you are buying passports. And I wanted to include this because I know there are some low spenders that may want to migrate out of their kingdom. And that's okay. It's a normal part of the game. But the New World bundle refreshes every 30 days or so. And so you can buy this bundle once. And the best bang for your buck is actually going to be the first 2 stages of this bundle. You get 1 passport for $5 or 2 passports for $10. After that, it becomes a little bit more expensive and you're getting a little less bang for your buck. For example, I believe the next stage is $20 for 3 passports, which isn't as good because your cost has gone up per passport. So if I were you and you're thinking that you may migrate at some point, this may be part of your monthly spending because you may just want to buy the first 2 bundles every time they show up and accumulate passports. The other option is to use alliance credits, but again, it's at your will depending upon how much you want to spend. As we continue on, we reach the KVK pop-up bundles, and some of these are kind of negotiable, some of them are not. If you're in Season of Conquest, you really do want to be buying at least some of these. The first bundle is the Crystal Supply bundle, which gives you numerous gems every single day. You get 60,000 gems, or 60,000 crystals every single day during KVK. This bundle is $5 and it increases your mine speed. If you're a low spender in Rise of Kingdoms, you need to buy the Crystal Supply if you're playing in a Season of Conquest. You really cannot not buy it in a KVK. We do get to some of the other interesting bundles there. And this is my rule of thumb when it comes to spending in KVK. I will buy any bundle that is less than $10 that pops up. And if you follow that same rule, and I have the breakdown here of which bundles show up, you can buy 2 bundles that come from the mine, the $3 and $5 bundle. You can buy 3 bundles that come from the Research Center, the $3, $5, and $5 bundle. And you could buy the $5 and $8 bundle for the tech-triggered upgrades. And this will bring you to a round-out cost of just about $40 for a KVK, which really isn't that bad when you talk about being a low spender. And if you do buy these bundles, you can be competitive. In this last KVK, I pretty much had close to max tech just as we entered King's Landing, or King's Land. So this is kind of my recommendation here. If you are curious what more of these bundles are, there are guides within the Discord, and this spreadsheet will also be posted in the Discord, link in the description. I hope that this has been valuable to you. As a low spender, I wanted to know how much should I be spending in this game? Really, how much can I get away with spending on a KVK? And what bundles are valuable to me? Hopefully this helps. If you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button right over there, bottom right hand corner, and hit the bell so you get notified when new episodes come out. Thank you. Shappy out.